Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Procurement, the only show you need to master the art of procurement. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Let's Talk Procurement show, the only show you need to ever learn about procurement. Today, with me as always is a man with a plan, a man who is about to transform his whole entire life by making bad decisions. It's Luke 10.
Yeah.
How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good for now. But as you say, bad decisions inbound. I have already made one bad decision. I'm surprised you've not actually picked it up already. Because we have been chatting for 10-15 minutes before. Please don't try and guess, because that would just make me question everything about me. I've let my beard grow out a bit. It's a bit thicker than normal.
No, I like that.
I feel like I look a bit. My face just looks a bit dirty, instead of chiseled jawline and stubble as I usually have. It's grown out a little bit. It's a bit more messy.
I quite like it. It makes me feel less like I'm talking to an infant and more like a a friend and colleague. So feel a little bit less noncy. So I'm glad you've got the beard. It also kind of makes up for the top part.
Really?
Yeah. The kind of Lego hair that you have. I think the beard much better. But no, I thought it was the glasses that you made a bad decision on. So apologies for that. That's clearly a bad guess.
Yeah, that is a bad guess. Just contemplating my choices now. I know you hate them anyway, it's fine.
I don't actually hate them. I just love that they're like a particular... Well, I've said it before in previous episodes, right? They're basically, if you Google Jeffrey Dahmer, ignore whatever he's done and just look at his glasses. That's what Luke 10's wearing to work every day.
It's not true, though. It's not true. But anyway, I'm not going to buy it.
All right, cheers, Jeff. So, what's going on then? What's today's topic all about? Or should we start with the notice board?
Yeah, well, I suppose the notice board sort of is the episode, isn't it? We received on email from our mate Kareem. Kareem has previously emailed us, and he's emailed us again on the email address 2lukes1sip@gmail.com. That's the number 2, Luke's plural, the number 1, CIP@gmail.com.
Can I ask a question? Is Kareem the one who asked us like 2 days before he went into an exam for advice?
No.
Oh, who was that?
That was our other mate, Nick, I believe. He emailed us about a partnership with Daniel Doe.
But stay tuned, by the way, because there is progress on that front. We are in active talks with Double D for maybe an episode, maybe a link up, maybe a collab. So watch this space.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you get like an all-star team. It's like all the people in the procurement field that are reputable and have growth inbound. They'll be there.
Well, yeah, and it's. I mean, we've spoken to him already, haven't we? And he's a lovely bloke, to be fair. I think he's far more prepared and versatile than we are. So we'll definitely...
Yeah. We did a little slight planning meeting, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he was just asking us loads of questions that clearly showed he was loads more prepared than we would be, even in our new season 3.
Yeah, and he thinks we plan. So. But yeah, watch that space.
So going back to short story long, going back to our dear friend Kareem, who's got in touch on our email. He has said, "Hi guys, can you please provide tips to recover from failing OR or CR exams? For I have a buddy who failed level 4 exams more than 5 times. Why should you not give up? How can you use," and there's a secondary question, "how can you use exam reports for a retake? Thank you, Kareem."
There's a couple of elements to this, isn't there?
So, Rima, I just want to say first of all, I'm sorry your friend failed. It's a tough situation. SIPS is tough as much as Luke 1 will say it's not tough. It is hard, especially when you're balancing a job and you're balancing personal life, social life, and studying as well at the same time. It can be difficult. So I would say the first step for me, the first tip I would say is to not be too hard on yourself. Don't some bad things have happened, but that doesn't define you as a person, right? You're more than just a number on a piece of paper. Would you agree?
Not really. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I do. I'm just thinking about the questions. There's a couple of elements to that question, isn't there? And we'll break it down. I think, first of all, Kareem, it's the first step is admitting. Okay, so if your friend is also called Kareem, and when you look in the mirror, you see your friend, then I think you just need to admit it, okay, and just kind of say, look, hold your hands up. You've had a rough ride of it. But you believe in yourself. Look in that mirror and say, Reem. You're putting the Reem in Kareem, right? And you're just going to be back, and you're going to do a smashing job of it. Okay, so none of this. Let's pass it off to a mate. Let's just accept defeat, and we'll come back and win the war. Okay, so that's the kind of first step. Second, is it the same exam that's been failed 5 times over, or do you think it's different ones?
I don't know. He doesn't say that on the email. He just says failed level 4 exams more than 5 times. He says exams plural, so okay. Maybe it's different exams.
If it's level 4 and level 4 is the entry point for you or your friend, then it does take some getting used to in terms of the format of both of the exams and understanding them. And for me, the worst bit is the best bit, which is practice. And I know that sounds ridiculous, right? But you can write an answer to a pretend exam at home in your own time. However, that's nothing compared to writing that in the same time limit that you would have in the exam, because that's where the pressure comes in, especially in the CR. Is it CR? CR, the essay one?
Written one, yeah.
Yeah, so in the essay ones, obviously the time frame is definitely pushy.
Agreed.
For me, nail the format of the essay responses and give yourself like strict ass timelines. Like I'm talking like stricter than nuns in a covenant, right? What you want to do is you want to say, look, I'm going to have half an hour to write each essay, and I'm going to have 10 minutes to plan at the start. So in 10 minutes at the start, open up your notepad, your virtual notepad, jot down everything that you've either stored in your brain or you think it's going to be useful for the exam, references, case studies, anything like that will just jog your memory. Go through the questions, start a little high level plan in those 10-15 minutes, just jot a few bullet points for each question that you want to address, then just dive into it and do half an hour, 40 minutes in each question, and whatever time frame you set for yourself, stop. Right, I know it sounds really weird, but if you've got 3/4 of the way through, stop, move on to the next one. Like you're giving yourself a far better chance by covering all 4 essay questions than smashing the first 1 or 2 in detail.
Was it you that was telling me about someone in their CIPS school who always refused to do the 4th question?
Yeah, we had the one guy who refused to learn the 4th chapter of the book. He said that was always too much, so he would do 3 exam questions and just leave the 4th completely. I don't know if he obtained his SIPS yet or not, but I would advise against that personally. I think you can get away with covering all 4 to a lesser extent. It's better than doing two to a better extent, in my opinion. The kind of feedback reports that you get will highlight areas that you need to improve on. Absolutely. So you alluded to that. Now, we've kind of gone through Luke 10's feedback on one of the episodes, and we can do another episode in a bit more detail Granted, that's not in exam conditions, but what it does do is they do point out kind of flaws in the structure of your response and your writing. So you might find that they say you're not giving enough case studies, as an example, or you're not giving real life examples where you have put that theory into practice. Or they might say you used the model Michael Porter's 5 forces, but you didn't necessarily show that you knew all 5 of the forces. You referenced 3 of the forces. It could be something like that, but they point to you, and it will either be the theory, you've missed something in the case study, or your own examples aren't really appropriate. It's normally one of those 3.
So I guess to kind of summarize that point, you should be looking out for key themes. If you've failed more than 5 times and you've got 5, those are 5 CR exams, you've got a decent sample to compare all of them and say, look, this is saying in every one it gets mentioned something about the reference to the question, or you're not referencing to models enough or something like that, as you say, Luke 1. So yeah, look for the themes in the exam reports.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, to be honest, this will be a first, but if your friend wants to send them in to us, we would be more than happy to have a look and give you some constructive feedback. We might take the piss a little bit, but in a light-hearted way. But we will give you genuine kind of feedback, and we do have episodes coming up where we have a CIPS tutor who will give some insights on exams and kind of tips as well. So that'd be really useful.
Yeah, I think you can send it in to us. We will give some honest feedback and probably some helpful feedback, but it will be it won't be for free. It will be for a chargeable cost. That chargeable cost will be that chargeable cost will be us publishing it as an episode.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, we're not going to publish the full report, but we'll read elements of it, right?
Yeah, we'll keep it anonymized, but we will talk about it.
I think, and I'm sticking on the written exams for now. I think reading the question and understanding what it is asking, typically, if it's out of 25 marks, I think they normally are where you would probably have an intro, 5 key points, and then I always did a quick summary, literally just a brief summary of the above, just to close it out. But if I was running out of time, I'd just skip that bit. So if it's not a time issue, then it's a theoretical or knowledge gap, right? So you need to understand what knowledge it is that you're missing out on, and to kind of give you some confidence and reassurance, I think there is a lot of repetition in CIPS from 4 through to 6. So spending a bit more time battling with the likes of STEEPLE or Porter's 5 forces, or financial measurements, things like that, spending the time now to learn it will pay off throughout the rest of your CIPS journey. So it's not lost time or kind of experiences.
Yeah. And then moving on to the constructive response exams, CR. Those are the multiple choice ones for those who like to talk in layman's terms. We do actually have tips for that. And I think we do have an affiliate link for you to use. We may have sorted it out by the time this episode goes live. I'm looking at Mr. Luke 1. However,
I want to launch it with the collab episode, to be fair, but if we can get it out before, so stay tuned.
So what that basically is let's say we'll have sorted the link out by then, and it'll be in the description. So for those who haven't listened to other episodes, Daniel Do Udemy exams are very good. I did them throughout my level 4 back when I was doing multiple choice exams back in the day. And also Nick, who we had on for an episode, he used them, and he on average scored over 90% in the multiple choice exam. So they are very good. They're very similar to the actual CIPS exams. And you might think that we're just saying this because we've got an affiliate link and we get a little kickback. However, it is documented in one episode that we said before we were best mates with Danny Doe. We even promoted it then. So there you go. What more do you want?
Yeah, and I think, again, practice, right? The thing for me was always normally the four options. Two of them are the most ridiculous things you've ever seen and just don't make sense to the question. And then you've got two that it could potentially be. Normally go with whatever you kind of think is the right answer. Yeah, your gut. And you tend to have a lot of time in those exams relative to the amount of questions. So you probably got enough time to go through, flag any ones that you're not sure of and come back to them. And quite often there's clues, not deliberately, but there's clues in other questions as to what might be the answer for your question. So you get some overlap, and another question might be the answer to a previous question, if that makes any sense.
Because my understanding of it is that it's a question bank. So they will pull out, they don't create a test and then give you that test. It's just a randomized bank of questions that just get selected for that exam. So yeah, as Luke once says, you might have one question that says, what model contains 5 forces? Yeah. It will have a list of 4 options. Then you go to another question, say, what are the 4 things on Porter's 5 forces model?
Yeah.
So look out for that.
It's actually quite amazing how many times that happens as well.
Yeah. There is another thing, another tip, which I would say is, it sounds stupid and everyone says it, but read the question, because sometimes it will say which of these is false, or sometimes the answer will come up as, it will give you a statement, 4 statements, A, B, C, and D, and then it will ask you, is it A and B? Is it C and D? Is it D and A? And you've got to pick from that perspective as well.
That applies to both types of exams, is read the question, because if you miss the question or misinterpret the question, you're going off down a rabbit hole and you don't stand a fighting chance.
Yeah. Would you recommend any sort of meditation or some sort of calm breath work type exercises before the exams to get yourself in the zone?
It depends what type of person you are. I mean, do some people get really worked up before exams, and if that's the case, then yes, absolutely. Just try and do the exam on your terms, right? So if you're doing it online and you want to do it from home, that's fine, but make sure it's suiting you and you feel like you're in an exam setting and you're ready to smash it. For me, I couldn't really do the essay exams at home. I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. So I went into the exam centres and it was just a lot more like being in an exam, and it helped me focus longer. Some of the multiple choice ones, just neck a Red Bull and just go for it. Other times, a bit of breath work can do a trick. I think everyone kind of approaches exams slightly differently. But the more you can go in with a level head, the better you kind of stand a chance of passing, really. The other thing is, have Kareem or your friend, have you had any support? I mean, are you literally just doing it off the back of a textbook? I mean, do you have textbooks? Are you just YouTubing things? Are you, is the only way you're looking at CIPS this podcast? If it is, then I understand why you failed, because we're not that great. But there are, like, CIPS have local area communities. There's LinkedIn pages. You can connect with people who are going through CIPS level 4 exams. You can share ideas. You can, just put yourself out there and find people in similar positions as well. Because there's lots of students out there.
I would definitely agree, and I'm in the background. I'm trying to find another recommendation, which we aren't getting paid for. Yes, found it. So, right. So another recommendation, which we aren't getting paid for, is something on YouTube. I think it's the old syllabus, so obviously be wary of that. It's a woman on YouTube called Procurement Study Buddy. She does loads of slides about a lot of things, level 4 to 6. and she narrates over the slides, and it's kind of like being in a classroom, but you get to pause and rewind and select the topics that you're not feeling comfortable with. I think they are very good to watch, but I think you need to do your own, as you say, our other recommendations. You need to do your own practice exams. You need to do your own timings. But in terms of the theory, this should probably be an earlier stage than that, at the point where you're kind of getting to grips with the theory. Getting to grips with the theory, then that's when you should use it.
And I think there's certain theories where you just want to take them down in your notebook and just kind of almost just
get to work
refer back to them where you can. Yeah, get to work on them. Just like having 5 Porter's 5 forces or STEEPLE or whatever in a fairly easy to access notebook will do you good at any given point in your procurement career, just as a reminder that it exists and this is why we do it or what we're doing. And then more so when you get to the financial stuff like acid ratio and all that good fun stuff.
Yeah, you've got to commit some stuff to memory at points, haven't you?
Well, if you want to be the best, you've got to learn the best, right? So,
as our sort of final thing, could we, in a future episode, people have said how good our voices are, how ASMR-like we are. Could we do some sort of like sleep meditation type thing, how people get to sleep the night before the exam?
Well, and mix it up with like procurement models in there, so it
goes through into the brain. Yeah.
Porters. Does that sound good? Could you hear that? Porters 5 forces.
They don't whisper. They just have a very calming.
Oh, I see. So like
they have a very
ocean waves.
Voice.
If we try it, Aaron,
yes.
Just put some ocean waves in the background to this.
Or warning if you're driving. Tune off now.
Oh yeah,
because you might fall asleep.
Yeah, the ocean sounds have kicked in. You are ready for this exam. STEEPLE.
You are strong. You are capable. Porters 5 forces.
You are prepared and ready.
Imagine yourself opening the results and a successful outcome.
Unless you're Kareem. Yeah.
Or Kareem.
So that's an insight. So if you like the sound of that, we could do a full episode on that. I think maybe, Porters 5 forces, and then we can expand on, threat of substitutions. In between the waves crashing on the shore.
I think I've said this already, but I was driving my mum somewhere, and she wanted to listen to the podcast as like some sleep audio while I was driving, and then we put the podcast on, and then she started disagreeing with what Luke 1 was saying, so it just made her more awake.
I can't lie, I think she started that vendetta way back in season 1, and I've not really forgiven her since, to be honest.
He's not forgiven you either.
Yeah, it's that weird hostility. I think she's jealous that we've got a relationship, is my honest opinion on that. I feel like she listens.
What, because you're like a mother to me? Is that?
That's it. And I've taken you in like a mother hen. I've helped you spread your wings and become something. Whereas, what did you achieve under her wing?
Quite a lot, actually.
Oh, Denise, can't wait for you to listen to that. Anyway, I'll be over next week for a cup of tea. All right. Hopefully.
All right. Yeah. If you want to get in touch, like Kareem, our best mate, has done. Apologies in advance of you hearing this. But yeah, don't give up. Believe in yourself, and yeah, all good things take time and effort.
Yeah, you'll get there. And take us up on the offer of sending in reports or even an exam question that you've drafted, and we'll give it a go. We'll give you some feedback. Absolutely don't mind that.
Maybe we even try to answer it as well. See how we get on.
I don't want to expose us. Great idea.
Cool. Right. Well, I'll see you in the next one. See you later.